Reform UK is being sued by a group of more than 50 voters for breaching their personal data. We're going to read into this more from Byline Times, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Byline Times with the headline that Reform UK is being sued by a group of more than 50 voters for breaching their personal data. Nigel Farage's party could be forced to pay damages if found liable by the courts. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. So let me just give you a little bit of context to this. This is around the time of the general election. As you guys may or may be aware, obviously during that period of it, obviously political parties obviously want to get information on you. They want to kind of try to get you signed up, get you on board, try to gather a bit of information that they can on you. And obviously in some of these you have to give your consensus to give that. But from what it sounds here from these potential voters, and it could be even more than these 50 voters here, is that Reform UK breached their personal data without their consent, basically, and there is obviously a line that's supposed to be when it comes to reform or any political party about like how much information you're allowed to divulge from voters, because during the election campaign, they really try to get you to sign up to a lot of things, don't they? You always get these emails, you get the notes through the letterbox saying, you know, check these out, sign up to these and that and that. And you have to be so careful if you sign up to them, because then your email could end up getting bombarded by huge amounts of, whether it's Reform, whether it's Lib Dems, Conservatives, Labour, whoever. My advice is obviously I would create a separate email if you wanted to sign up to a certain political party, and not your main email, maybe like a third or second or third email, or even like just create one just specifically if you wanted to sign up, so that you don't get bombarded. But it seems from this here is that Reform went too far when it comes to the breaching of personal data. So let's read a bit more into this, you guys. So, a group of voters have joined together to file a groundbreaking legal claim against Reform UK, after it allegedly failed to properly respond to their request for what? Personal information that the party held on them. So, why would Reform not give them that information? The Good Law Project is bringing a case on behalf of the claimants after it created a tool in the lead up to the general election that allowed voters to ask political parties what information that they had on them, a data subject access request, a DSAR, and to demand that the party stop using that information. Around 1,800 people used the tool to contact Nigel Farage's party, and of those surveyed, 96% said that Reform had failed to respond to their data request, thereby breaching its legal obligations. Reform was the worst performer of all major political parties, according to GLP. If your information is being held by a political party and you don't have and they're not giving you access to what they have on you, that's very worrying. That's very worrying that your personal information or information that you have, it's being held by a political party and they're refusing to share that with you. That's your data that they have on you. You have a right to know what information they have on you. Between June and July 2024, voters submitted requests to Reform UK for their personal info and for the party to cease processing their data. Reform UK was required to respond to these requests within 1 month, but failed to meet this deadline, according to the legal submission to the High Court. Only after receiving a formal letter before action in October 2024 did Reform UK respond by claiming that they had no record of the individuals in their system except for the original request. So they're claiming that they don't have the information. But GLP believes Reform UK's identical responses to all the individuals were inadequate and likely false, since Reform UK's own privacy policies state that they maintain a profile for each registered voter by merging the electoral register with other data from third-party sources. So basically what they are saying here is that they're trying to claim that they have no records of the individuals in their systems, even though it literally says that that their own private policy states that they maintain a profile for each registered voter. So what is it? That they don't have the information, or they do have the information? Reform are lying. The claimant suspects that Reform UK may be processing so-called special category data, including political opinions about the individual without proper legal basis. Yeah, this is for them to try and break down individual voters about where their positions might be. The voters' data subjects in the eyes of the law have allegedly suffered concern, worry, uncertainty and distress due to Reform UK's handling of their data and ignoring their request. GLP wants the court to order Reform UK to comply with the data requests, pay compensation for non-material damages and cover legal costs. Now, I think there is a great deal of concern here. If you are somebody who is a Reform UK voter and you did share their data with the political party, you have every right, to know what data and what information that they have on you. And if they are refusing to give you that information, then yes, you should reach out to the Good Law Project, because at the end of the day, that's your information. That is in their hands. They have a right to tell you what they have. So I would say reach out to Good Law Projects and others. If your information is with one of these political, with not just Reform, with any political party, if they refuse to give over what information they have on you, because this is because some of them have sensitive information like your full name, address, phone number, contact details, or whatever. Like that information is personal. It's your personal information that they're holding, and what is to stop them passing that on to third parties and whatnot as well? I'm sure there's probably some people will say in the comments that there are certain laws where they can't, but I'm saying this obviously to protect yourself, guys. The Good Law Project, through its lawyers, Palanis Palmer as LLP, wrote formally to Reform UK to challenge its refusal to meet its obligations under the law. Reform failed to respond to the legal letter, but sent out identical emails claiming to hold no data on any of them. It has never responded to the demand to stop targeting those voters who requested it, the lawyer states. Reform has reportedly ignored further legal letters from Palace, which has sought more information about its processes for handling the DSARs, and has challenged Reform's contention that it held no data on any of the individuals. Again, like they're claiming that the 50 people that they have here, that they have no data on them, when it literally we just looked at their private policy and that they hold the information. Now, 51 people have opted to take further action collectively and challenge Reform in the High Court under a novel legal mechanism embedded in the UK's GDPR data protection law. Article 80 of the GDPR allows the Good Law Project to represent the claimants as a group of victims of data protection infringements. Paz is acting for Good Law Project in this challenge. An anonymous claimant involved in the legal challenge said, "After receiving unwanted communications from Reform UK during early 2024, I joined this case because I believe it is crucial to hold all organisations wholly accountable for protecting personal data. Reform's data breaches highlight the importance of transparency and responsibility required in safeguarding all individuals' privacy. This case being brought by Good Law Project is about ensuring that such violations are addressed and prevented in the future." Joe Meshkin, the Executive Director of Good Law Project, added, "Big data sets give political parties the ability to micro-target different audiences with different messages in a way that can fragment, indeed divide the audience. The right not to be targeted by a political party and the right to know what it knows about you are very important safeguards. And as it will learn, Reform is not above the law." And Matt Geets, a partner at Palace Partners, has said that political parties, more than anyone, should understand the importance of respecting the rule of law. It appears that for the first time in the UK that a legal claim has been brought under the Article 80 of the General Data Protection Regulation. This is the first time, by the way, guys, and this is under Reform UK. This provides a new right for public interest organisations to represent victims of data protection infringement before the courts, provided that they officially nominate the organisation to take action on their behalf. The Good Law Project is a non-profit which says it uses the law to build a fairer future. The group took a leading role in overturning Boris Johnson's unlawful prorogation of Parliament and in exposing the cronyism at the heart of the government's £50 billion COVID procurement. Based in London and New York, Palace Palmers LLP is an elite litigation and disputes bouquet firm focused on high-stakes litigation, international arbitration and investigations. Reform UK have been contacted for comments. This is very significant, guys. Yeah, if your information is being held by a political party, you have a right to know what information they have on you. And it seems to me here that rather than addressing this issue, Reform UK have tried to play this down, have tried to ignore this. That's not right. It's simply unacceptable. From the looks of it here, it's unacceptable for Reform UK to do this. If this would have been any other political party, I'm sure Reform voters would be saying, would be up in arms about this. Whether if it was the Conservatives, if it was Labour, Lib Dem, Green, whoever political party, yeah, they have your information and they have information on you, and they're not giving that, telling you what information they have, or they're not no longer process. You're telling them to stop processing that information, and you don't know that. You have a right, to know. You have a right to know. And Reform are not being treated any differently here, which some people may claim, because at the end of the day, people have a right to know. And Reform have been silenced on it, claiming that they don't have anyone's information here. Well, that's just not true. That's just not true. And that's only the 50 people who have been pursuing this. There's probably been more people who've had their data in the hands of Reform UK and probably don't know about it or not bothered by it, not knowing that information will be used against them. And I think that's really, really important that they're held to account here. So that not just Reform UK makes sure that they are following the law, that every political party, whether a new or an old one, continues to follow the laws. Because it's important that an example is set among all political parties, not just on Reform here. But what do you guys think of this story? What do you guys make of the case by the Good Law Project here on them being sued for breaching their personal data? Let me know your thoughts and more on this story down in the comment section below. If you found this video informative or helpful in any way to you, please hit that like button, we greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. Do check out the Good Law Project on their website at the Good Law Project as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.